Alright, there we go. Now I'm talking. And I got YouTube up. No Twitch tonight because this is not a gaming stream. This is me writing for NaNoWriMo for 2021. So, for some reason, yeah. There's my stream warning from my phone, as usual, going off. I am pretty much getting started right now to try to write some words for my NaNoWriMo goal. And go ahead and get some things sorted out here. Come on. There we go. We'll close this out. Get my Nano up. And switch over to scene. And hey y'all, it's me. Just doing some writing tonight. At least that's the goal. And I'm going to be switching back and forth a little bit here and there. I'm going to increase the size of this so I can actually see what's going on. There we go. And read any comments that happen to come in. Too far. There we go. And I will try to keep an eye on that. NaNoWriMo. Let me give this is the evil clown here, by the way, in case you all didn't know. NaNoWriMo stands for National Novel Writing Month, and I can pull up my Nano stuff here. NaNoWriMo 21. Yeah. How about this time? Type your things right. There we go. So, anyways, this is NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month. This is my pen name. You can go out here and set up goals and things like that. The goal of NaNoWriMo is to write 50,000 words for a novel in the month of November. And then in the follow-on months, it's to continue either writing or editing, going through things, and eventually publishing a book. As you can tell by my NaNoWriMo, these are all the projects and years that I worked on stuff. So you can tell some of the things that I wrote about, some of the things that are short stories, some of the things that were things that I started working on and never finished because I got sidetracked. And then here's one of the years that I won back in 2013. And then 2012 was this writing of core. So these are just some of the stories that I've written and books that I've worked on. In 2018, I finished this goal, Battle for Thorn Valley. If you ever seen the series with the mice that lived in the brick outside of a farmer's barn, and Nim, Secrets of Nim, that's what it was. We're out after the rats and them, and then they were kind of like medieval battling and stuff. Well, this was a carry-on story that I wrote, which basically took the kid character, the kid mouse, and made him an adult man later in life, after his parents and siblings had moved on and did different things and married off, and then he became a farmer, like his original kind of family farm thing, and he becomes a leader against a nasty set of rats that have a black tower. The Black Guard is what they're called, and they're basically the bad rats that were the son of the rat that got killed in the original movie, and they propagated in a junkyard that was close by, that's near the land of where these mice and villagers are, and they go raiding and burning and all like rats do, and basically they he battles them all along, and there's magic in it and different things, and their black tower is an old abandoned black refrigerator inside the junkyard. And that's what I based everything around. And Nim is still after him looking for rats and stuff, and they actually attack the guy and things happen, but it had a really bad ending that I think needs rewritten, but over time it could probably be a pretty decent draft. This was a story about a colony on Mars. This was a fun take on a serial killer, literally the cereal names that we used to eat as kids, Captain Crunch and the King Vitamin and Cookie Crisp, the cop. It's all about Cookie Crisp, the cop, going around trying to solve a serial killer mystery. So it's a mystery, and it's named after cereals. And I spelled it serial killer like this. 378 is basically like a zombie movie. Core was a sci-fi flick about aliens and stuff and weird stuff. Anyways, these are the number of words written so far this year. So my new book that I'm working on, the novel, is about where is the information? There we go. So it's a novel about modern politics, exclusion when governments take the rights away from their people and people fight back for their freedom. So this kind of a brief description that I started on as an idea. This is going to be set in the modern times, the very near future. There are going to be devastations of countries. There's going to be quakes and natural events that drop California off the coast of the U.S. and climate disruptions, as well as economic collapses, as well as government collapses, things like that. And the way things I'm forming here, people taking, forming groups and basically trying to, like the Postman Rebuild America kind of thing, after a chaotic devastation of America and other countries around the world. So that's kind of the take on it. That's enough said about that. We'll go ahead and get started. And I started working on this last night. I wrote a little bit about background and things like that. There's going to be multiple characters and stuff. I'm just getting settled down to write a little bit about this pivotal battle, which is a historical event. In my future, this timeline basically starts around 2020, 2022, somewhere in there, 2021, kind of modern time, and it basically moves on from there to this battle that happens between China and Taiwan, the U.S. 7th Fleet, things like that. This tool itself is called Scrivener, and it's a writing tool, and you can create chapters and do all of these fun things. I'm not very well versed in this tool itself. I know how things kind of work in it. But basically, you just get in here and you start typing about, it was an early shift. It was early morning, and just start typing. That's pretty much how scenes go. I am what they call a pantser, and I just come up with random shit off the top of my head is basically what that means. And from there, I just start typing, and before I know it, like last night, I was 2,500 words into a chapter, which the goal per day in NaNoWriMo is basically to meet your 50,000 count, which would be 1,667 words per day. Um, that said, I got to get typing, and I'll kind of talk along as we go. There's not really a lot of music or background or anything else going. I'm probably going to be shifting in and out of this to check, websites, for different things. Wars Galaxies, YouTube. What is this? Nope, that was the Twitch feed. This was my other feed. I did some random character generation stuff. People use these kind of tools. It does have some built-in tools, but I never figured out how to use it, so I just Googled something else and kind of set out, this is going to be, I think, my main character, which is going to be the lead of the cell that kicks off part of my story, where they, blow up buildings and things like terrorists would in our modern times. This, of course, is going to be future events based on the timeline, starting as a base, kind of, from the 70s all the way through the 2023 era. There are different people involved in the story. It's going to be a very complex set of characters. I think 6 to 10 probably engaged in this cell, which would be fairly accurate, I would think, around this time, because there's different groups and teams working together to kind of battle the forces of evil, if you will. So that said, I kind of set some notes here about let's see, Battle of China Sea. There we go. So Philippines Sea, Taiwan Strait, hypersonic missile launch. Obviously, this is kind of modern stuff that we just happened within the last month or so. Counterattack by nuclear forces. So I basically start typing and talk a little bit about what's happening while I go. So it's an early morning aboard USS Finley. Small anti-aircraft frigate. And yeah, I know I shouldn't be doing this. You just type. Go back and edit later. Aircraft frigates. In the western. On its western Pacific deployments along with the what's the modern, I can't remember what the damn name of the new carrier is. This is the problem you have when you write newest U.S. carrier. Gerald R. Ford. So there we go. The Ford. 50, CDN 21. Low profile. Yeah, lower deck. When's it supposed to, or did it already go out of dry dock? I don't remember. Nice gear, different 140 tons, commissioned in, that was the Nimitz class. Exemplified by Roosevelt. Okay. Sword. Catapult number 4. Bechtel reactor. So, it was class and designed in the 80s. Ford class was part of the fleet for 90 years until the year 2105. So, basically 2025, 2020, somewhere in here. Upgrades, computer design, crew. Only 2,600? Wow. That's kind of small. The last ship carrier that I was on was almost 6,000. A lot of people take to run a carrier. Medical fields construction began in 2007. Estimated cost $13 billion. Original total of 13 characters. Speech in 9. Class changes. Over 5 years. 10 carrier fleet after 2040. Changed in December 26. Signed a force structure assembled. 355 ship fleet. 12 carriers. Okay. Built. Will be built in 3 to 4 years. So this thing must be done. Dry dock in Newport News, obviously. That's grand during the ceremony in Hawaii. Modeling. Ford carrier. Okay, so the Ford went right to the Pacific, so that's in line. Honor of Doris Miller, the World War II guy. He was, if you didn't know this, Dory Miller was the first African American to get the Navy Cross. Commissioned 2017. Okay, so she's out there already. Nice. So these are actually, these are like when they really, this is when the keel's laid down. Launched is when they put it in the water from the dry dock. And commission means this is when they put it in production and it's able to defend, defend America and the fleets, and things like that. And they can do operations. And scheduling to get rid of the Enterprise. February of 2017. Wow. Nimitz I was on, Carl Vinson. Wow. Yeah, this was the newest one. This was in Mayport for a while. The Ike, I've been on the Ike multiple times. Matter of fact, I did an East pack Mediterranean with the Ike. So, good stuff. I'm getting sidetracked. But she is definitely deployed. With the Ford. U.S. carriers and fleets. With Pacific deployment along the way. Bosun's whistle chirped. out of the loudspeaker. Puts it with a truck on a loudspeaker to let the crew know to drop their drop their socks. So I got to think of what I want to do right here. So just some random shit I'm typing, and don't worry about it. It'll change. Definitely will change. TK. TK. So these two letters in writing, they never really appear together in any word in the English language. So it's easy to type these out, and then when you go back and search for TK and find a replace, you can type over areas that you need to get jump back to and edit and do things. That's what I'm doing in this instance. Marking things as TK to go back and create a thought. Let's see. Oh no, the lights popped on and woke him and the bright lights above his head are a few inches from his head. Had popped on to let him know it was morning and time to get up. He had the early watch on deck and other duties the rest of the day. TK. So I'm gonna come up with a name here and figure it out. But yeah, that's kind of a way to avoid things while you're in train of thought, to move forward in the writing and kind of see where you are as you go through. Groaned for a moment, and then wiped the matter from his eyes as he slid the covers back from his bed, from his bed. He's a mid-level, so I'm going to put him on the bottom bunk. These are three level bunks, six. They call them coffin racks, coffin lockers, because you basically sleep in a 6x2x2 bed made of metal, and just a very thin bunk top, which is about 3 inches deep. And they are not comfortable. Basically all you can do is just a little bit of sleeping. You do eventually get used to it. It's not very comfortable, but a bed's a bed. And So I'll do some more writing here. What else? No. Where's my split screen? I can't remember how to do damn split screen on this. There it is. That's what I wanted. And then one of the things that you can do is set, let's see, this as my split screen. So I can do, I'll drag so there it is. That's the berthing, the coffin lockers. And basically you have to trice these racks up to be able to sweep under them. So that's an idea of what I'm talking about. Oh, that's a massive picture. There we go. That'll work. Gives me an idea and keeps me busy thought-wise, so I can remember things. China Sea images. South China Sea, Cambodia. No, I want up here. That's Taiwan, so it's going to be close to that. This is where. That's way far. This is South China Sea. It's going to be along this area somewhere in the corridor of Taiwan. This is the Taiwan Strait, and this is probably going to be where the battle takes place, somewhere here, because this is where they're currently doing overflights of Taiwan right here along this corridor. So I'm thinking here in the South China Sea. So let me talk a little bit about that. South China Sea, it's the Philippine Sea, South China Sea. These are my notes, just to remind me of things. This lettuce covers back from land and rolled out of his bottom bunk, tucked in the covers, flopped the pillow, or no, fluffed the pillow, and got out his coveralls, and got out his coveralls and then threw them on the rack. He grabbed his towel and headed for a shower in the head, and before it got jammed got full before it filled up. So this is a problem when you're on a ship berthing with 60 to 100 guys. Everybody tries to get up at the same time, especially in the morning, get their shower and shave, and get moving in the land of naval operations. So everybody who's first, you get, first dibs in the showers. Everything is still hot. Shower wise, and you can jump through it real quick. The last guy up usually is taking a cold shower. That's just how it is on at sea. Fill it up. After a quick shave, he was out the door, headed back to his rack to get dressed. What else? So this is something guys do. He unlocks his drawer and pulled out his dive watch and slapped it on his wrist, flung his towel over the end of the racks to dry, and grabbed his overalls to get dressed for get dressed. He made his way out of berthing to the mess hall, got in line, and sorry, I can't see, the camera's in the way. So he grabbed some eggs and toast for breakfast and some fruit before settling down to eat with his friends. They chatted for a bit while eating, and talked about the drills they had planned for the day and what their chief had lined up for them for duties. We finished quickly. He finished on time. No. He finished early. Let his friends know he had the early shift, early watch. and dropped off his tray in the scullery before heading up to his workstation, and let's make him. I don't want to put him on like regular navigation duty or something. I want to put him in like OIC, not in the plot room, in OIC to start his watch and relieve. OIC to start his watch and relieve the overnight watch, or the dog watch, because it's 4 to 8, right? The dog watch a few minutes early. The chief and OIC officer were making their rounds to make sure everyone got turnover. So the turnover is kind of a watch term where you talk about all the shit that happened during your watch, anything going on, any plans for the day, any orders from the officers or chiefs or any of that stuff about what to watch out for or things happening. So he did all this turnover, and the new guy took over his watch and sat down at the terminal and started working and checking tracks and stuff like that. That's what the OIC guys do. They're usually OS's, operational specialists, and they sit there and they track targets and they track airplanes and weather conditions. There's a whole group that's nothing but weather people and stuff like that. So they track everything that's going on in the operation. Basically, it's an airport, a floating airport. So, but they don't actually launch the planes or tell anybody what to do. As far as that, they just keep track of everything. Let's see, make sure everyone gets turned over. There wasn't much going on for a Saturday, for a lazy Pacific Saturday underway. There were a few sorties up, doing patrols, and the occasional com chatter over the red phone. Several. Let me go. A couple hours later, before lunch, things were about to change. I think that should all be together with that paragraph. And then I can write something new in here. Actually, I might write a whole new scene from the Taiwanese view. Yeah, that might be good. So we got this guy, this American. He's an operations specialist. He's a nobody. He's on the aircraft carrier somewhere up in CIC. Um, did I say OIC? Workstation in CIC. There we go. See, this is why you do edits down the road. CIC officer. Okay. So then I'm here. So let me kind of add a new text file. So this is a new scene. This is, let's call it invasion. All right, cool. Let's do one more lookup. Let's pull this. Let's do, where's that random name? There we go. Let's do, I've got most of this copied. Yeah. Let's do middle name. Let's get rid of this. Let's go with Korean, or not Korean, Taiwanese. Thai. Really, it's Taiwan. There is no Taiwan. Well, let's do Chinese. And let's generate a name person. Oh, no, I don't want Brant. Generate a name, Lan Mu. Nope. Regenerate. Rikun. Zalan. Wu Zedong. Zedong. And then Kizu. Hunan. Hubei. Come on. Catch up with me. Dongong. Zhejiang. Shenzhen. Fujian, Beijing, Sichuan, Fujian, Hanyang, Yuan, Guizhou. Come on, give me something in Taiwan. Taiwan, male. Names. Well, this isn't what I want. Tony's male, Taiwan male names. How likely used by someone with this name. Most popular name in Taiwan. Yiling. delicate, it's most common in Taiwan. How about males? Poland, Shanghai, Eastern State. Oh, that's not bad. Who is tiger? Religion, Buddhism, Taoism, folk religions. Not many people speak English in Taiwan. The capital of Taipei. There are no English speakers than anywhere else. What is they famous for? It's, street food, the night market, lantern festival, pineapple cakes. Taipei 101. City that is culturally diverse and open-minded. What's considered rude? Putting arms around shoulders, winking, pointing with your index finger. Considered rude. Point with open hand, palms facing outward, front of face moving back and forth means no. Oh, palm facing outward in front of face. Moving back and forth means no. Okay. Good thing. Winking and pointing with your index finger. Making 11, bigger than UK, bigger than Japan. Taiwan before Chinese. So who? Given names: Hu Jin, Hu Shun, Hu Ting. Yu Chen. Oh, these are common. There we go. Yu Chen, Hu Chen, Yu Ting. Juan, Juan, Yu Chen. Hu Chen. I like that. Yu Chen. Yu Chen. Let's do Taiwanese point of view of the Chinese air and sea attack on defense forces. A bunker, lookout, reporting attacks and explosions near the waterfront, near the beach and waterfront from his guard post while under attack. Guard post. Informs leaders of attack after running from the bunker to warn due to communications failure, and watches it explode. So Yushin greeted his friend with a nod as he walks into the bunker of his guard post. He grabs a cup of coffee, hot coffee, as it was a chilly, brisk walk from his barracks that morning in the rain. In the windy rain. There we go. Let's see. He blew over the coffee to cool it enough to drink. A small gulp. And set it down next to his duty station. Duty station desk. And set it down on next to the phone on his duty station desk. All right. As he settled into the chair for the morning briefing. He hadn't been in the army long, but he had gotten the routine down after the first several months here after his training. So I got to validate this to make sure it's somewhat right. I don't want to make bullshit up. See, Tammany Army training process. Conscription in Taiwan, draft process. China, Taiwan has maintained policies of conscription for all qualified males aged since 51. Planned originally to end it in 2014. Abolishing conscription is quite controversial when females from the outlying islands of Fushan are geographically in China that are required to serve in civil defense roles. Drop the martial law. Majority all enlisted positions are in the ROC Republic of China Armed Forces. Republic of China. Now on Taiwan, encompassing Army, Navy, Air Force, and military police force. Military is under the civilian control of the Ministry of National Defense. Alright, have been draftees, okay. Expanded volunteers, central forming a volunteer army, compulsory, even there, they have compulsory basic training, males reaching 18, recent use of an increase in service options, including blah blah blah. And now they should have volunteering their position numbers, draftees, and shorten the 14 months. Oh, they got to serve 14 months. Shortened to 12 months in 2009. In 2009, all volunteer force. 2014. Individuals who join have a minimum high school education and who do not volunteer for the military are required to complete 4 months of military boot camp. Okay, so this would mean he did his four months of boot camp, and then he did a few months on base as a normal guy, and he's got about another 6 months of training. 94 will increase military. 4 months of military no longer be required. Served for 1 full year, and the government was on track. And then the timetable was pushed back to 2013 and then 2016. All right, so it changed in 2016. '33. Communist Party. China. Okay. No citizens aged 18 start military January 1. The following year discharged on December 31st. So they have to do 1 year. The year he turns 36 called the male service age. Oh, that's when he's... What? Of the year he turns 36. Listed military service, 12 months active duty in one of the 4 branches, 12 months of public safety or community service, and this is like teachers and government and firemen and stuff like that. National Defense Service, advanced degrees, 3 months of officer training, culminating in commission to an officer in the reserves, followed by 4 years of employment in research. U.S. citizens born after that 4, so this would have been my guy. Served 4 months of enlisted or 6 months alternate service and 4 months enlisted. They're further broken down to 2 sessions of 2 months boot camp. Okay, so let's say he did 4 months of boot camp altogether and then did his enlisted military service. That would put him at 6 months. And okay, so we should be good here. I'm gonna have him. Oh, you'd be a short guy, right? He's gonna be. No, I'm not like physically short, but when I say short, I mean short in duty. Like he served almost his whole enlistment. He had got it. What kind of idiot writes like that? He'd gotten the routine down after the first several months here. He hadn't been anywhere long. He completed all four months of his boot camp training and had gotten stations at his first post in the, what are they called? Different groups. Armed Forces. Army, Navy, Air Force, and Military Police Force. So let's go with Army. Yeah, let's go with Army. Something different. First in boot camp of his, he hadn't been in the Army long. He completed all 4 months of his boot camp training and had gotten stationed at his first post along with 2 of his schoolmates in the TK, in the Army. Branch is the largest branch of the Republic Army. 80% of ROC are located in Taiwan. The remainder are stationed in Penshu, Kinmen, and something else. Penshu, Kinmen, Matsu, Dongsa, and Taiping Islands. Where are these? This is going to be closer to the city. This is on the coast. This is middle of nowhere. And these are in the middle of nowhere. So I'm thinking Matsu. So he's in a small base out of Matsu. Islands, known as one group of islands come by as a county by the based on Taiwan off the southeast coast of mainland China, east of the city of Xiamen and Fujian, and separated 36 islands China along the southeast coast of mainland China, Dongshui Administration District, part of the Dormant Islands Administrative, 100 islands southeast of Hong Kong, and then these Spratly Islands, okay, South China Sea. Ituaba, largest of the naturally occurring Spratly Island section is elliptical. God, that's small. It's like one island. This is in the Taiwan Strait. Small islands there, and then off the southeast coast of China. Group of islands governed as a county by the ROC based on Taiwan. Okay. Let's see. 3 armies, 5 corps, 35 brigades, 25 infantry, 5 armor brigades, 3 mechanized infantry brigades, ROC. Okay. 601st Air Cavalry, Kinmen Matsu, Recon Battalion, known as Sea Dragon Frogmen. No, that's more like Navy guys. Spec Ops. He's not going to have enough time to do Spec Ops, I don't think. Wanda, Engineer, Artillery, Signals Group, maybe. Engineers and Signals, 10th Army Corps, the Mechanized Brigade, Chemical Warfare Group, and a Signals Group. So that don't sound too bad. That's in Central Taiwan, East Taiwan, South Taiwan. So 8th Army Corps. Yeah, I think this 8th Army Corps is going to be our winner because this is in South Taiwan. I think that's what I want. 8th Army Corps. 8th Army Corps it is. In the 8th Army Corps Signals Group. Training and got stationed his first post along the first with the two of his schoolmates and the at 8th Army Corps. He was in the 74th? Yeah, no, 75th. 75th Signals Group. He was in 75th Signals Group. But really hadn't gotten much training in the few months he had been at the command. Other than the basics. There we go. And then I can change this, that he had gotten the routine down after the first several months there. Morning at the mess hall, followed by coffee and watching out the bunker viewports to the mainland. And when they refer to the mainland, we're talking about China. All right, that's not bad. So what are we doing on word count here? I don't want a minimum target. I just want to know what my word count is. Progress, show targets. The guard commander looks out from the viewport through his binoculars, for a few minutes. While you sipped on his coffee. He gazed heartily out at the fog-covered coastal waters. Jesus. Waters of the Straits. The Taiwanese Straits. Taiwanese Straits. Straits. It was then he started. I can't see. All right. He stared intently at the fog for a few moments and started to make out gray shapes appearing before him. Thousands of them. He dropped the binoculars from his eyes a moment to stare over to you. Capital Y, you, there we go, you Chen. Then refocused his eyes back in them again. Back into them again to validate what he was seeing. And shouted, "Huh! Huh!" I know people are going to read that and go, "Whoa!" But that's basically how you do it in Taiwanese. And you go, "Huh!" like that. Moments later, the first missiles began impacting the port close to the bunker, and explosions could be heard in the distance. All right, that's a good start. He dropped the binoculars to his chest and grabbed for the phone to let his superiors know, just as the impact from the first bomb exploded just in front of the bunker viewport. Missing them, but shaking and rattling all the dust from the rafters. As a fireball rose in front of the viewports. He screamed at Uchen in Taiwanese to get his helmets on and grab the weapons to defend their position. As he barked out over the phone everything he had seen so far encroaching onto their island post. They phoned the person on the phone was stopped, or no, responded immediately in response, but was cut off mid-sentence. There we go. How you doing? Hey, Nathan. How's it going? I didn't see you pop on here. Writing some stuff. It's my novel for NaNoWriMo. Thought I would jump on here and write for a little bit. NaNoWriMo is National Novel Writing Month. For 2021, it's from November 1st through the 30th. And so I've been writing when I can, every time I can, to create this story that basically happens in modern-ish times. Timeline-wise, it starts out here at the Battle of China Sea in 2023, and we'll go to a short little ways in the future. Some of these I may have to move around. I'm just writing for writing's sake right now, just putting thoughts on paper, if you will, or in here in Scrivener, which is a writer's tool. So just this is the battle and little background story about Yu Chen, who's a nobody Army Corps guy in the bunker looking out over mainland China. As his boss basically is looking out, he sees an invasion force coming his way. Planes are coming in, missiles are firing off, going into China, and the next thing you know, there's a bomb exploding right in front of their viewport as he's screaming. The phone lines get cut off, and then that's where I am right now. Just got home, bought a laptop, busy setting it up. Oh, nice. Well, I'm glad you got yourself a laptop. I was trying to decide what to get you. Besides this tennis ball thing that you wanted for Abby and you, but since you already have one, then I'm not gonna look. I don't want to dip into stuff if you guys already have something arranged and something that'll work for you for your work and everything else that you need to do. I was gonna. Dell's having a sale starting on the 11th, I think, is what I saw at work. They're having a Black Friday sale, so I was gonna look into that and see how things go. See if they had a nice desktop or a decent laptop that could help you with your work. And I heard some news from Beyond that said you might be going up to Indiana to work. So that's interesting. Yeah, I figured with me starting the new job next week, you needed a new one. Oh, so you got a new job. Is it anything good in the field, or is it related, or is it just something that you're working you're working and planning on doing to kind of support yourself while you continue training and support the family? Commander screamed out to Yu Chen to get to command and let them know that he had counted thousands of ships on their way to the beach, intent on landing. It was an invasion force. You had barely donned his helmets when the explosion in front of the bunker had occurred. As his coffee spilled all over the desk and command post. Let's see. Yep, just went through today. Oh, you're going up there with Deegan, huh? Have the offer with AT&T when I get back. Nice. Need to finish my certs while I'm up there. Cool. Very, very cool. Glad things are working out for you. And you do like 6 months up there for the contract. Is it like a government contract where they change somebody out every 6 months kind of thing, or plan on spending some time up there and maybe making a go of it up in Indianapolis? See how things have changed from up north compared to down here. Sorry, everybody else, in case you didn't know, if anybody else is watching this at a later time, this is my son. So he's talking to me from way up in the mountains up in northern Georgia, and while I'm writing this, and just talking about various things, public stuff, and searching for a new job and things that he's working on. So Yeah, 6 months. Okay. Yeah, it's probably a standard 6 month defense contract. Different military groups and defense contractors, kind of like what I did for khaki. Our contracts were actually 1 year contracts with variable extensions possible. They would always like get a bunch of resumes and prepare them, and then send the resumes in with your qualifications to the place that paid well and paid the info, and then they would use your resume to kind of bloat their contract costs and what they had expected for hiring people before they actually ever hire anybody. And they always try to go to the lowest common denominator in pay for you guys, while they make kickback pay off the entire contract costs. They say they can do it for $1 million. It actually costs, $800,000. They, from paying all you guys, and they make the kickback of a couple $100,000. That's how all that defense contract stuff works. Anyways, let me see. Where am I with these scenes? CIC. This is the guy on the U.S. ship. This is the guy on the Finley, which is a frigate. This is the invasion viewpoint from the Taiwanese. I probably need something battle-wise going on. Let me get rid of this. Yeah, no, not what I want, but there we go. 362 words, 450 words. So 700 something words in just this scene. That's not bad. Not the best. I could probably write some more, but both of those combined. Yeah, I can write some more on this. But yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I can extend it if I want. Yep, makes sense. Yeah, for sure. I definitely understand how all that contract stuff goes, but things happen, and as long as you make bank, that's all that matters. That's why I did defense contracting, working for Blackwater / Khaki Special Ops Division. Those guys were willing to pay me six-figure salaries coming out of the military, where I was making $37,000 a year doing the same damn job. So I was like, fuck, why not? Have you read Game of Thrones at all? I've not read the book itself. I just watched the HBO part of it. I read some of it. I got into, like the book originally kind of had some very detailed pieces and things like that, and I got into the different series. Arya was my favorite character. She had a lengthy, detailed sections, and I enjoyed every section that she was written in. But there were a lot of the way, I can't remember the guy's name, but the way he writes, I hate, because he'll spend like this, 1,000 words just sitting there writing the background detail about one character, and then the next scene he kills the character off. It's like, what the fuck did you write all that? You wrote, the banner of blue and gold with a lion of orange and green and all this stuff, and like the house of Taiwan and blah 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 and so, and he had trained at the military academy in Gothamir and blah blah blah, and then the next thing you know, he kills the guy off. I was like, what the fuck? Why'd you tell me all that shit? I don't care. Word count 450, total characters 1900. So, how long have I been streaming? It seems like a similar style of writing where you have multiple story viewpoints going on. Yeah, kinda. What is the guy's name, the author? George R. Martin. I met him at Dragon Con one year. He was, I don't know. I mean, he's okay. I just kind of don't like his style very much. He does way too much description and then kills off the damn character. It's like, okay, I just wasted my time learning all about this guy, and then you freaking killed him in the next battle. I'm like, what the hell was the point for me to learn anything else at all about this guy? But I mean, he's got some like the story points like this. The scenes changing from the like this scene is actually the USS Finley, which is an aircraft anti-aircraft frigate that's protecting the fort out there in the battle, because I mentioned the fort and stuff like that. I've got to write some more detail in here and things that I'm missing. This is why I put the TKs in here, just because all this stuff doesn't make sense, and I got to make it make sense. And there's some things that need to go in these sections, and I need to come up with a character name and a few other things. But using TK as a place where you can jump to, like you can do a search. Where is the damn search thing? There's a search feature. There it is. If I just search the word TK, it's going to give me all the points, and then I can highlight and jump right to those points in each section of the novel. There's another one there. Things that I wanted to pick out. So, pretty cool in doing all that. And escape out of this. Let's go back to writing. Turn to binder. Alright, where? Binder order. See, this is what I hate about this software, is I don't know every ins and outs of it yet. And I've been using it for a few years. I kind of went into detail at the beginning of the Braves are up 5-0. Nice. And they might win tonight. They were doing pretty good the other night too on Halloween and lost their ass. It was a high scoring game from what I hear. But basically, I want to get the details of everything in. Search words. So I know you can take this back off. I don't want to be on search. I want a specific thing. Navigate view. The view? Click for document binder collections. Outliner options. Damn it. Alright, that's the inspector. Turn that back on. Is it this? This? No. Damn it. I don't remember what I did. Is it collections? No, not a new collection. Cancel. Damn it. Alright, let me save it. Close the project. Let me open the project back up. Hopefully it'll reset. I don't remember what the hell I did. But I'm trying to bring up the menu where I don't have to view the stupid search feature. Format bar, collections, let's take that back off. Binder. Ruler, no. Page view. Oh, there we go. That's nice. I can scroll up and down on the entire page. There we go. That was what I was trying to get back to. The menu on the other side. Hopefully, if they win, it's done. Yeah, it usually goes 6 or 7 games. Depends. But, they got to get their marketing dollars out of it. So, there's the invasion. So, this is more that I could write in here. But I did pretty good for today. I've got about 800 something words, I think. 360 and 450. So pretty good so far. I would like to do a full word count though. Don't know where the word count is. I know it's here somewhere. Projects, intermedia collections, zoom, outline, compose, composition mode, toolbars, word count. Doesn't tell me what I want to know. But down here at least it says it's 362 words. Hey Cricket, how's it going, buddy? Yep, writing a novel. I'm about, let's see, 2,500 plus. So I wrote about 2,500 last night. Tonight I only wrote about 700 something. 450. 3, 7. I wrote about 800 words tonight, which isn't the best. I'm supposed to do 1,667 a day, so kind of getting to the end of my stream. I think I wanted to check and see how long I've been going for. I can't really tell. Looking at these over on Streamlabs. Doesn't really tell me how long I've been going for. Hour and 37 minutes it looks like on YouTube. Hour and 38, somewhere around there. So not too bad. I don't expect a large following for this. It's not any kind of gaming stuff. Hell, I couldn't even stream it on YouTube, Twitch. Twitch wouldn't let me stream anything. So I've been I got my fan on, so things are a bit distant. I'm trying to speak here into my laptop or my speaker, my Yeti, and just write things as I go. I explained a little bit about NaNoWriMo, and I wrote a few scenes into the Battle of the China Sea from the USS Finley's point of view, as well as the Taiwanese guy sitting on the coast, starting to get shelled from mainland China. So things are starting to happen. Yeah, and then screwing myself over, deleting my the whole left side over there, trying to figure out how to get the damn thing back. I'm not very familiar with this tool. It's been a year. No, wow. What was my NaNoWriMo? So these are my previous things of NaNoWriMo, my projects. This is the current one. This is the one I did in 2018, 2016, 2015, 2013, and 2012. So really, I only completed it for like the zombie one here, and this is basically 378 days of the zombie outbreak kind of thing. This is a serial killer. It's kind of a funny spin-off of, a mystery. Child of the Sand is a Mars colony. Um, Battle of Thorn Valley is kind of a fantasy animation about these mice from Secrets of Nim, and how the young boy mouse grows up and stuff. And then Cell is about current warfare in the Taiwanese Strait, using the hypersonic missile that they just fired a few months ago. Um, the loss of California off of the West Coast shelf, and probably a little bit of other incursions as the sea overruns the land in coastal cities across America, and basically the splitting up of America between multiple countries, alliances, and territories. Um, so that kind of modern era. It'll be from 2023, which is what I set it in, the start of the battle kind of thing. And then one of the characters is going to be like memories. This is kind of the prologue kind of thing of somebody telling this story, and is untrustworthy, maybe narrator. And then the China Sea battle is the start of the timeline, and then I've got other chapters and things that I want to write from there. So doing okay so far. Saw me on, just figured I'd swing in and say hi and drop a like. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. I was sitting here talking to my son, who's getting ready to go up north and start a new job for 6 months, doing something for defense contractors, feeding the Afghans, maybe? I don't know what he's going to do up there. Him and my other son are going up there. Yeah. I wrote a few books. Like I said, things over time, over the years. These are some of the core things. I kind of get into writing just for NaNoWriMo. It starts in November, on November 1st, and it ends on November 31st. And writing, 50,000 words. I only won this one and this one. Are my only two winning years. So it's been a few years since I've wrote, and I thought I'd get back into it in 2021. So that's where I am. I talked a little bit in the beginning about Scrivener and some of this writing tools and things. I'm not very familiar with this tool, but I can do enough in it to cause myself some havoc, do damage to myself in writing, and try to copy and paste all this stuff out to the actual scores and updates that I'm doing out here. So if I wanted to, I can actually go out here and update this to, what was it, 450 and 362. So 450 plus 362 should be 812. Yeah, 812. So I can update this for today's update, and I might even write a little bit more, because you can get some bonus things. I don't know what the hell these are. Where were you writing? At home. Where? Let's just call it laptop. That's fine. I started about 8:30 p.m. and it's now 10 o'clock. update progress for today. And then I can go in and look at my word count and things and different profiles. What did I score today? Start a streak. Updated more than one a day. Pantser, that just means somebody who writes with no kind of plan or format or anything like that. And here's my total words needed a day, 1,400. Oh, what the hell? That's not right. It didn't update right. Shoot. Now I gotta go back in here. Update. What was it? 2242, I think. And then plus 812. So 2242. That makes things so damn difficult. 2242 plus 812 equals 3054. So 3054. Total words. Oh, see, I should have selected that. There we go. Now I should be able to go and check statistics. 3,784. Oh, okay. I need to do 700 more words. So I'm almost there. I'll get it figured out eventually. 2270. I'm short. Let's see. Just wrote things in Word. Longest I ever got was 45 pages many years ago when I actually wrote more into digital. Yeah, this is all digital for me. Love to sit down and create literature. Just don't have the time and the patience with everything that's going on in my life right now. Oh, I understand that. You can kind of see that in my background. The years that I gapped, 21 to 18 to 2016, 2015, 2013, 2012. So these 2 years I did good. Then I skipped a bunch of years and skipped some more and skipped some more. And some years I'm good, some years I'm not. So just kind of bouncing around, if you will. There's my background and what I wrote. But a lot of different stories and things. Pretty passionate about it. Oh, I got a different badge because I updated it today, twice in a row. I got to go write some more words as a pantser and get some stuff down here at the end of the battle to continue this chapter. But when I say digital, I mean photography. Oh, okay. Photography, Illustrator, and Blender. Gotcha. Yeah, my daughter's the artist. She's the art teacher, actually. She just graduated from Kennesaw not long ago. Started her first job in the end of July out of college. Teaching at a middle school, so not bad. I'm happy for her that she got right into work right away. That's always good. But that's about all I got, man. It's been about an hour and a half. I got a lot of drizzle here that I got to sort through. I do my cheats like I did here, and putting TK in at various places so I can go back and fix stuff. TK, There's things I want to say and do, but I know I'm not going to leave this in there for sure. So I've got to go back and fix this section and figure out what I want to type in there, and then once I get everything down, I kind of get a thought, and then I can just jump in there using my search and search for anything that starts with TK, and then that'll give me the basis of where I need to insert and do edits and things like that, and create new information in that section. So it doesn't sound like a moron writing it. But that's where I am. I like creating things in general, which is why I think drawing's becoming a mechanic. Also creating art, writing, why I play the games that I do. Survival-based building and things in farm simulators. So, gotcha. Yeah. I used to tear shit apart when I was a kid. Figure out how things worked. That's kind of what led me to becoming a cryptologist in the military, and learning code and learning how to break things apart, and eventually learning computers and learning how to break those apart and rebuild them, and which eventually led me to networking, and then on to security, which is what I do nowadays. Security, anti-hackers, and hacking stuff and protecting stuff. So. Leave it in there and give them out. Yeah, I mean, NaNoWriMo is all about just writing words on paper. I don't like leaving the TKs in there. I definitely know there's what needs to go in there. I just don't have an idea of how I want to write it. Basically it's a loudspeaker on the PA to blast out, and the boatswain whistle goes off, and it's your wake up, and then there's a time period when the guys go out and sweep the decks and clean and do those things first thing in the morning, whoever's on duty, and then those that are just getting out of their beds rush to get a shower before all the hot water's gone, and then running back and getting dressed, and then running up to chow, getting in the chow line and getting things to move on, for the work day. Exactly. That's the mechanic. Yep. I've never been the mechanical type though, of an engineer. I kind of understand how things work, and can combine like that explanation to somebody that is a mechanic and explain a computer and parts and how software and operating systems and other things work for somebody that's mechanically inclined. So I can interpret like into things they can understand. Like my brother, he's the freaking sadistic mechanic that tears his truck apart probably every 6 months, fixes something that's probably broken on it, or if not broken, he knows he needs to repair it, and then puts it all back together, and then drives another 1,000,000 miles down the road. Me, I pick apart software and networks and software and applications and things like that. Learn how to protect it, how to maintenance it, and keep it up to date and keep it protected. So, but yeah, this whole story, it's about realism. This is the modern era. It's about current things like the missile attack. This is going to be the hyper missile that just fired recently, a couple months ago. We're going to talk about that a little bit in some of my writing. It's going to impact California. There's going to be natural disasters, California falling off the shelf and sliding under the waves, killing millions. There's going to be economical clashes, political clashes, ideologies, and different parts of America, as well as it's a breakdown of society basically, and kind of who rises from the ashes to power, and how they deal with that power, and how absolute power corrupts absolutely. So, Thoughts on Linux? Linux is a good operating system. I used to actually run game servers off of Linux. I used to run middleware uh, for a game server, and all. I was in a game company as part of one of the founders, and all of my servers ran on Ubuntu, and I mean it's a good piece of software. It'll run on off of 64 meg of memory. That's how good Linux is. It's really popular system. It's getting better. It's getting more up to date. It's getting a lot of love. So it's a really good tool actually. Yeah, I ran it for years. I ran the workstations. I ran the servers off of Linux for gaming. Um, the websites that were up in the AWS cloud were running on AC2 on Linux servers. Ubuntu, of course. Um, I ran the asset manager. Ran the login manager for people logging in and testing the game environment. Um, I wrote the code ran on in Python on the application server that ran on the Linux server as an interface to the middleware and the backend database. Basically, it was the game engine where everything ran off of. And while all the head honchos got to go to GDC and the Game Development Conference out in California, I was stuck here at home working on the game servers. So doing things that needed to be doing while they were showing off the game. And then when they all came to Atlanta for Dragon Con, I got to show all the cool stuff and like do the videos and work with them to show off new stuff like nuking planets from orbit with orbital bombardments from battleships and with lasers and mass driver weapons and things like that. So I'm asking this. I've considered switching to Linux from Windows. Yeah. Linux runs better on older systems, actually. If you have a system that's 3 to 5 years old, it runs great on older systems, older drivers, and technology. It's not the newest thing on the front lines, but they keep it updated constantly. And as long as you update Linux regularly, like you should be doing in Windows, Linux is actually a more secure system than what Windows is. Windows was built to be publicly available, where Linux was meant to be securely available to people you designate, different roles. So it, like Mac, are built differently than the way Windows are. So I actually prefer those more secure systems, as long as people keep the damn things updated. Nothing stops, criminals and hackers and everything else. Eventually, they find a way around things. So just got to keep everything up to date all the time. And there are things out there called 0 days, and they do exploit them. Yeah, 5 to 7-year-old laptop, and I'm definitely going to convert. See how it goes. Oh, cool, awesome. Yeah, I downloaded recently a copy of Ubuntu here, and I got a copy in my stash here of games and software and stuff. It was fairly recent. I say 2020. That was recent for me, messing around with stuff in Linux. The last time I did, but. Anyways, I think I'm going to call it on here. I got a bit of stuff to write yet to kind of bring things up to date, and hopefully I'll finish for the day and then can go take a rest and watch some TV and see how things go. Ryzen 5600, Radeon 6600, 16 gigabytes RAM. Oh yeah, that'll definitely work well. I mean, even the older laptop should work extremely well for you, especially with Linux. It loves older drivers and older operating systems and stuff, older hardware. It works really good on Linux. Stuff that's well defined. So, Well, I appreciate you stopping by, though, dude. I know I didn't think I would get a lot of views for this, um, but it's also something that most people don't really get into. So appreciate you jumping in, and everybody, Nason, I'll talk to you later. Let me know how things go on the on your road trip with Deegan, and if you're still watching, have fun up there in Indy. I'll see y'all later. Evil Clown is out of here.